see, I think we're officially live, ladies. We are officially live. So welcome to another Cooking Chat Girls Night In. Super
Leave the
excited
book here.
to have Dr. Suzannah Bozzone. Is it Bozzone or
Hello. Bozzone. We say the E.
Bozzone?
You can say Bozzone. You can say
Do I have to
Bozzone.
do my hands like
You do this. It's all good.
okay. Nice. Awesome. So tonight we're making jackfruit birria. I think it's birria. Birria. You have to roll the R's in Spanish.
Birria.
Birria. Birria. All right. So this dish is traditionally made with meat, and so we have veganized it. We're making it whole food, plant-based, using jackfruit, and so it has a lot of like chilies in it, rich deep flavors. So I'm super excited that we're doing this tonight, and it will be a recipe that will be going up on danielsplate.com. So first of all, can I call you Suzannah, or do you want me to call you?
Absolutely. No, you call me Suzannah. I got lots of names. Susanna.
Okay, because I was, so when we first met, we were at the Plantrition Project conference, right? And so I was calling you Susanna there, but I wanted to make sure publicly if you prefer. So I will call you Susanna. So I met Susanna at a nutrition conference in 2019. Is that right?
Yeah, pre-COVID.
Yeah.
It was like and then everything stopped.
Everything stopped. But we like hit it off immediately. We were sitting next to each other. I think we were just sharing a table, eating lunch or something.
Yes, it's so fun. I love that.
Yeah, we just hit it off, and so we stayed in touch, and so I reached out to her. I was like, "Hey, why don't you come on Cook and Chat? It'll be fun." She's like, "Okay." I was like,
yeah. That's right. And hopefully we'll go to Plantrition again sometime soon. I can't go this year, but yeah I would. Oh, they're so fun. It's the best thing. Everybody needs to go to one.
Yeah. Super just educational and informative. And so Sersie, how are you today? We didn't get a chance to chit chat.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing good.
Yeah, you got a family visiting. So
I have a family visiting, so we're just out and about. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. So Susanna, do you want to you know what? Why don't I run through where we're at with the recipe, and then I'll have you kind of introduce yourself.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
share a little more. So, so this recipe calls for dried chilies. Now you can use guajillo chilies, which is what I'm using, and so they're just this deep, rich color. Like they're super fragrant. Or you can use ancho chilies or a combination of the two.
These are ancho.
Yeah, you've got the ancho. Those are big.
They're huge. They're the size of my son's face.
Wow.
Oh my
Those
gosh.
are huge.
Yeah. Sersie,
got them on Amazon.
I don't even know what kind of chilies these are, to be honest. I don't know.
Oh, those look like guajillo chilies.
Okay.
Chilies, yeah.
All right.
Possibly, yeah. So, so with those, we're going to just take the stems off and remove the seeds.
Yeah.
And then we've got like a half of an onion chopped.
Okay.
Now the next two ingredients are kind of different. So you're gonna have like 4 garlic cloves. You want to keep them whole.
Oh, yeah.
So you can crush them or smash them, but just don't chop them. And then a carrot, you can kind of quarter it or even cut it in half. It's basically so the carrot and the garlic and the chilies, we're gonna simmer all of it together, but we're gonna pull those out and put them into a blender with some sauce, because that's gonna be like, it's gonna make like a paste or a thick sauce that we're gonna add back to the pot. So that's kind of the rundown on that. And then in addition to that, we've got some bay leaves, oregano, some chili powder, cumin, and then kind of the main star of this dish. I don't know if it's the main star, but it's definitely if it's not the main star, it's definitely a strong supporting cast. Maybe it is the main star. The jackfruit. Would you call that the main star?
Okay.
Call the
Yeah.
chili the main star. I don't know. Would you call the chilies the main star?
Oh.
Jackfruit.
No, I would say the jackfruit. Yeah.
Jackfruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe supporting actor. I don't know. Would be the chilies.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right. So the jackfruit. For those that don't know, you're using the young jackfruit, so it's not ripened. So that means it's not sweet. And it comes in a can, usually in brine. And what you want to do with that is just basically shred it so it has the consistency of like a shredded, like a pulled pork or shredded beef or shredded chicken. And it has a very low calorie density. So this dish is like low fat, low calorie density, but has a lot of flavor to it. So typically with these tacos, I would pair it with like some refried beans and rice, or just some black beans and rice possibly, but just kind of rice and beans to go with it. And if you want more of a filling meal with it, but on their own, they're a great light dinner or a snack. All right, and then of course we have some low sodium vegetable broth and the tortillas. We're using corn tortillas, and then for topping the tacos, we've got shredded cabbage, cilantro, avocado, and lime. And you can put other stuff on it as well, but that's what we're doing today. All right, so Suzannah.
Yeah.
I know you've got you're working on your jackfruit, right? Shredding that.
Well, I moved on to crushing my garlic.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
My jam is looking pretty good, right?
Oh yeah, that looks good. Nice job. Yeah, that looks
the camera here.
That's the right consistency.
That's thanks to Milo. I had my 7-year-old assistant here for a minute.
All right, Sersie, how are you coming along?
I still gotta chop my onion.
Okay.
So I think that's pretty much.
Yeah. What's also neat about this dish is it's kind of a one-pot dish,
Yeah.
Yeah. You basically put everything into the pot and then just let stuff simmer.
Yeah.
And it's somewhat hands-off, except for when you pull out the chili, garlic, and carrot blend. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you crying?
No.
I was amazed I didn't cry. Made me think my onion was broken.
Yeah, not as
Yeah, this is so good. It's so much. I need often inspiration to try a new recipe.
Yeah.
I'm just all about the nutrients, but that's not very interesting for my family.
Oh wow.
So it's great to have the inspiration just to think, okay, I got to buy something new and different. This is fantastic.
So what are your major go-tos for your family, like that's nutrient based?
Yeah, well, so like tonight, I wanted to get their dinner out of the way early, so I made lentil loaf, which it's just so easy. And it's got the one that I make has tofu in it. It's got lentils, it's got oats, and so it's kind of you got your beans and your grains, and then it's got a bunch of nice seasoning and herbs and stuff. And and they like it, and it's just super easy to make ahead. And so I did that with roasted red potatoes and green beans, and they were pretty happy with that. And then I have greens on the side of everything because my first job was at TGI Fridays. And if you don't know, don't ever go there. But if you do go there, then notice if there's something green on the platter, because they have this motto: if it's not green, it's obscene.
Oh,
and so
cool.
the good news is I took that with me. And nothing else.
Yeah.
I did not take the potato skins. I did not take oh my gosh, all of their Jack Daniel's menu, but I did take that thing.
Yeah, I love that. If it's not green, it's obscene. I love it.
Yeah. And so I always put greens on the side. So I put arugula on the side of my dinner.
Yeah.
As well.
Nice.
All right. So I am going to. Someone's trying to call me here. Let's see. All right. I am going to preheat my pot. Put it up here.
I need a bigger pot. What are you making? They're jackfruit tacos. Can you go upstairs and finish your homework, please? This is Maddie. Maddie, say hi.
Oops.
Hey, Maddie.
Hey.
There we are. Gigi wrote the spinach book, Spinach in Your Teeth. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, good. Go read it up. What's that?
He's like, yeah, whatever.
I think Milo already told her upstairs. She's like, I know.
Oh.
So this is Gabriel. Here's another one. They're all here. Okay.
Gabriel.
What are you eating? Dried blueberries? Okay, go upstairs. Go upstairs. See you later. Bye. Love you. Bye. Always good to have everyone involved.
Yeah.
Because it's bedtime, and clearly this is way more interesting than bedtime.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Okay, in a medium pot.
Yep.
Add all of the birria ingredients and bring
We're
to
adding
boil.
everything: onions, garlic, the chilies, the carrots.
All right.
Yep.
The
And
seasoning.
Yeah.
Chop these up or just leave them like this?
No, leave them whole because remember we're gonna pull them out and then put them in the blender, so they'll get purified.
And it's 3 chilies. Is that correct? 3 chilies.
3 chilies. Yep.
There's so many of us. I have this problem. I can never make a single recipe, so I'm making a double recipe. And then I asked Gigi ahead of time. I was like, "These are so big. Do I use 6?"
Oh wow!
I only put 5. Okay, carrots.
Yeah, one of yours could be equivalent to like 2. It looks like, yeah.
Yeah. Bay leaves. Yeah, and other things that we do a lot of beans, of course. Mm-hmm. Beans in all shapes and sizes.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite, actually my husband and my one of our favorite meals, we call it glop.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if you make baba ganoush.
Baba ganoush, yeah.
But then caramelize onions and add garbanzo beans to it.
Uh-huh.
And more like it's like really creamy, and then add some I put chipotle seasoning or something spicy on top, and then over a bed of arugula. And it's just,
wow.
I had that for breakfast today. It's my favorite thing I think ever.
That sounds great.
It's so yummy.
All right.
So the seasonings, how much seasonings is on there? Let's see.
So we got a teaspoon. We got 2 bay leaves. 2 bay leaves, a teaspoon of oregano, chili powder, and cumin each.
Okay. And 2 cups of broth.
Yeah, and really you want to just make sure you have enough broth to cover everything, just barely cover it. So it should be about 2 cups. It might be a little different. So just gauge it.
Okay.
Yeah. You wanna make sure your chilies are submerged.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Smells good.
Yeah, it does smell good. The seasoning smell yummy.
And you're throwing the jackfruit obviously into everything, just everything.
Yeah, everything goes in there at once. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then you just bring it to a boil and then reduce it, let it kind of like just
bubble up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cook. You want to keep it uncovered though.
Mm-hmm.
Yum. Some are uncovered.
Yeah.
It's hard to submerge those huge anchos.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, keep on creeping up.
It does smell good though.
Yeah, it does. Amazing.
All right, so we'll just let it kind of like simmer, cook, or like a gentle boil.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so while we're waiting for that to cook, Suzannah, would you like to share a little more about your story?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So
Everything.
I'm a family physician. I'm board certified family physician and a lifestyle medicine. So board certified lifestyle medicine physician also. And I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I think seriously, you're in Atlanta, right? Are you in Atlanta?
No, I'm not. I'm actually on the southernmost furthest part of Georgia.
Oh, you broke out a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm actually in this most southern part of Georgia, right before you get to Jacksonville. So I'm not in Atlanta. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, so we're not that far away. I mean,
No, we're not. I actually been to Chattanooga. I've been there a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. There's some great things happening, especially in the plant-based world here.
Yeah, I thought so many restaurants. It was like there was this whole community when I went there. I was so shocked. Yeah.
Yes. And so let's see. It was before COVID. No, it was in the COVID lull. That's when I was trying to remember. But we did this Food is Medicine Goes on tour in Chattanooga, which was so fun. And because there's so many fantastic restaurants here, and they are really, it's such a great community, and that's what we learned so to back up a little bit, I was working in the sick care system. I was working as a primary care doc for a long time in Sonoma, California, and then I moved back to Chattanooga, which is where I'm from, and we have 3 kids, and my family, a lot of my family is here still. Okay. And so we moved back here, and it was just, I had already been turned on to lifestyle medicine, and I already seen and started practicing it myself and seeing what it could do. And then so I partnered with my partner here, who's a health coach and RN, and she's amazing. And she's from here, and she's like, it's like sex. Once you know, you can't unknow. And that's exactly. We were working together in the medical system here, and we did group visits, and it was great for the patients, but it was so hard fighting against the medical system because you're just you're making people sicker with best intentions, but you just don't have, you just can't get to the root cause in less than 15 minutes. If you have acid reflux, you can't have somebody come in and say, I have acid reflux, and then you have to ask them what they're eating and what time they're eating and when they're eating and are they stressed and all these things, or you could just give them Prilosec. And unfortunately, if you ever want to get a lunch, or and I just wasn't going to do that, and I just so we broke. So first we tried to redirect the Titanic, and then we said, this is really bad for my well-being. And so we jumped out and we started True Health Journey here in Chattanooga, which has been so fun. And now I also work with True Health Journey, and we do a lot with partnering here and recognizing that you cannot create community you have to go to community and you have to bring it together. You have to make it fun. And that's what you guys are doing. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's really about like uniting, not, sometimes this lifestyle, if we do it a certain way, can actually be isolating. And and that's quite the opposite of what food is all about. It's about bringing people together, and it's about enjoying it together, and about, getting to the best versions of yourself together. And so that's what we try to do and create community. And that's why those partnerships, going back to that, all the wonderful restaurants in Chattanooga, we sold out all of them. It was so fun. And it was just, it just showed the need and the desire, despite we're in the heart of the South, but people want this and they want to feel good and they want to be vibrant and they want to have community around it. So it was really fun to do that in Chattanooga and to partner with these amazing restaurants and these amazing, they're just such good chefs and they're just cool people. And so we've done a lot of educational stuff with these restaurants, particularly Real Roots, which if you're ever in Chattanooga, go to Real Roots. And ask the other, they're we did Southern Squeeze, but they're just fantastic people. So that was really fun. And now I also work out of True Health Journey, and I work doing programs with the YMCA. And then, and we're doing some really cool stuff with that. And we're trying to make Chattanooga into a blue zone right now. So we're working with the National Blue Zone team. And so that's, we're in like the second stage of that process, trying to create the healthy option to be the easy option based on shifting the built environment to say it's easy and accessible, no matter your zip code, no matter who you are, that you can access healthy food and you can access a sidewalk. Just like some, and that's, unfortunately, that's a real problem. And I also work with plant-based telehealth, which is, I don't know if are you familiar with plant-based telehealth?
No. Not really, but I did see you as a physician on there, but I've never heard of it until I ran across it maybe a couple weeks.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's just amazing. It's just an amazing group of doctors, and Dr. Clapper.
Yeah.
So he's one of them, and amongst many other just incredible physicians, and we're covering almost all 50 states now. I think there's 11 of us. And I have 5 state licenses. I have Georgia as one of them, but Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia, and North Carolina. Was that 5? And then there are docs that hold almost every state. I think we're only lacking a few states. And so it's a great opportunity to, if you're looking for a plant-based doctor or you want to work with your diabetes or your chronic conditions in your state, and that's the law is that you have to have a license in the state where your patient is. Though a patient can go to a different state to see a doctor. If you're on telemedicine, a doctor has to have a license in your state. And so it gets it's a great community of doctors and if we have a tricky patient, we work together, and it's just a lovely, incredible community. And these people I'm just really honored to be part of that team as well, just kind of leading the charge and trying to shift and improve the power rather than dependence that unfortunately we kind of give to people. We give people dependence on a new identity as a sick person, or on the lifetime of a statin or these things, but rather to give them the power is so important. And so that's kind of what I think that we do with plant-based telehealth and also with True Health Journey here locally is so that's kind of, it's my dream, because it's so fun. You get to see patients get better and they're happy, and you're trying to create community and positive change. Like there's nothing bad. There's one thing bad, which is we don't take insurance, and so that's frustrating because I've always worked in underserved populations, and that does limit people. But we try to make it affordable and try to give resources so that everybody can access this, hopefully. And it's and the goal is that they don't need us forever, that we get their power, and then they know what to do, and they come back if here and there. But it's not a dependence goal, and so it's not a great business model.
Well, that's funny you say that it's not a great business model. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we'll definitely post the link to that, because Sersie and I had a couple of podcast interviews, one with Dr. Scott Stoll and then also with Dr. Amber Orman. She's in Florida. And we were on the topic of lifestyle medicine more recently with Dr. Jen
Davis. Yeah.
Davis. And so we are really trying to, help people understand, because we hear anecdotally from a lot of people. Some of them are in our group, some are just like out and about. Oh, well, my doctor said it doesn't matter if I eat bacon and eggs, and they'll say these kinds of things. And while they're struggling with type 2 diabetes or heart disease or something like that. And so it's hard to say, hey, well, maybe your physician isn't aware of the role of nutrition and health. I think people just take advice from their doctors on nutrition just inherently. And so it's good, I think, for people to know that not all physicians have that training. And so Suzannah, do you want to share a little bit about like your medical school experience, and then how
Absolutely. So I went to Davidson College, just to back up a little bit. And I only say it because I loved it there. And you can never say Davidson. It's just the best place in the world. And it really is, you were a person, not a number. And then I went to a pretty large medical school at Memphis, at UT Memphis, and which was my state school. And it was a great school, but I think I got a couple of hours of nutrition. It's like, this is a carbohydrate, this is fat, this is a protein. It was absolutely nothing about how to make a meal, how to balance your amino acids, it was nothing like that. It was like, this is scurvy. You'll never see it. This is kwashiorkor. This is like, protein deficiency or malnutrition from that. You'll never see that either unless you go abroad. Like it was all these things that we learned these significant deficiencies, but we didn't learn how to make health, and we didn't learn the role it played, because it's just not taught. And so then I went, and I actually deferred medical school. I wanted to speak Spanish, and so si yo hablo español, si habla español, but it's so I took off a year, and I worked at a Spanish speaking clinic in Nashville, which was amazing. And I did some research while I was there, because I was like, do I want to go into surgery? But I didn't want to go into an intern surgery year if I totally wasn't sure, but I knew I wanted to be fluent in Spanish. And so I had this great opportunity to work in a Spanish speaking clinic, and I got to go to Tegucigalpa and really just work with this amazing population of Latinos in Nashville. And it was an incredible experience, and it made me really want to do primary care, because I was doing full OB ultrasounds. I was telling people they were having a boy or a girl, and it was fully in Spanish, and it was a wonderful cultural immersion in Nashville, which was just fascinating. And so I did that, and then I went into primary care in Denver, Colorado, and I was working there adjacent to a refugee clinic. So most of my patients there, while I spoke Spanish, they didn't speak Spanish. They were coming from all over the world, but I only really spoke Spanish in the hospital there. And I had a lot from Eritrea and Ethiopia and Myanmar, and we had a ton from the Middle East, from Iraq and Sudan. And so it was really, my education was really about knowing where the person is coming from. Like, it's really important to know the guidelines, and that's what you get, your that's on the test and all those things. And you need to know that. But if you know what the guidelines are, and you know what the medication you need to treat is, but your patient doesn't know what a pharmacy is, or how to take the bus, or they just came from Africa into Denver in the winter, and they're like wrapped up in like 47, garments of their native clothing, and wrapping their babies, strapping them to their backs. And you have to understand what they're seeing, and you have to understand that they don't trust you, and nor should they. And so you've got to kind of like really back up and think, this isn't about me giving you advice. This is about us working on what you're ready and able to do. And that's kind of the beginning starting point of recognizing that it's not all about the guidelines. While the guidelines are important, it's really, if you want to make a change, you have to meet your patients, and you have to know your patients. And so that was really cool. And again, I didn't get any nutrition. I don't remember any nutrition. I really don't. If it was there, it was so minimal in my residency training. Well, it was a great training. I mean, I loved it. It was amazing, and I learned a lot. Nutrition wasn't one of those things. And so then I took off a year to get my yoga teacher training, because yoga was kind of my sanity as to how I made it through residency, you know, working all those late shifts and also seeing so many. It was amazing, because doing yoga, I really recognized why people were having all these rotator cuff problems, and you know, they're all, and how your body shapes. I mean, I was working with refugees that would come and get low back pain and hip pain, and and it would be always when they came to the country, and I would just remember saying, what are you doing differently? Why do you think this started when you came here? And he was like, well, you know, I used to squat when I ate my meal, like down deep in my hips, and now I'm sitting in chairs, and then all of their hips and low back just started going, and I was like, well, why don't you start squatting again? And his problem went away, and I was like, yoga.
Yeah.
You know, get in a deep squat. And then, you know, the same thing with working your shoulders and your back body and all these things is so important. So I did my yoga teacher training, and worked a little bit in Denver after I graduated, and then moved to Sonoma because my husband is an artist, and he does a lot of Tuscan murals and things like that. And so we moved to Sonoma there, and I still taught some yoga, and I incorporated yoga into my practice, but very different population to some degree there. And so, but again, so people thought, they were like, well, you're vegetarian because you're a yoga teacher, right? And I was like, no, you know, you got these teeth to eat meat, you know. Like I said, all the things.
Now look at you.
They knew, you know, but it's just like amazing. And then I ate so much dairy, like I had so much wine and cheese, and while that was delicious, my gut was a not happy place.
Yeah.
It was really amazing to think, and it's around that time when, you know, to recognize that everybody else knew that I was plant-based before I did. And then I started seeing people going paleo, and I started people going keto, and all of these diet trends. And I was like, you know, your cholesterol is getting really high. What are you doing? You've lost all this weight, but your cholesterol is getting high. And I would see like erectile dysfunction in people that have lost weight, right? So they come in, and you're like, well, this is great, you've lost weight. And then you start listening to them, and you're like, but you are not healthy on the inside. But and the shifts that they were doing were really those low carb trends, which you know, so many people have tried or are doing right now. And it's such a shame, because you start to just see it. And then I started going, and I went to my first lifestyle medicine conference because somebody told me to go, because I started working as like the intermediary between the hospital there and the employee health in Sonoma, which was great, because I was, you know, and adding lifestyle medicine to that, you see, you know, health is not built in the clinic. Health is built in the community, and what we eat and how we live and how we move and how we love and the things that we're doing like that. And so, and it's just like that. And so once you know, you can't unknow. And then you know, and I'm a very like full on person. I'm like, okay, no more meat, no more dairy.
Yeah.
So that's how. So it was for me. It was harder for some of my family, like Milo, who Gigi met earlier. He's 7, and he's never had dairy in the house. I don't restrict it when they're out and about socially, but at home, you know, we don't do any dairy. But it was harder for my daughter. She, you know, because like the other two, they'll do anything if you you know, bribe them or or kind of tell them, you know, in a kind of, you know, you got to do this. But Maddie's a little different, and she won't do anything that she doesn't want to do. And so we were like, oh, gosh, well, the only thing she seems to eat is yogurt. What are we gonna do? But she's it took her a little bit longer, but she's come around, and so it's pretty good now. That was a very long answer.
No, that was good. I love it.
You seem like you have an amazing journey to medical school, though. You're like Dorothy on the road to the Wizard of Oz, and how she's making all these different stops and developing this and developing that, because you're gone to yoga, you've done Spanish, like you have an amazing road to medical school. I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah, well, thank you. And that's kind of it is actually, that's why we named it True Health Journey. That's the name of our practice, because it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And so
it's just like Dorothy, man, I'm telling you.
Exactly. And it's all the things you learn on the way that make you kind of think, oh gosh, you know. And then also the things that you discount when you're a stupid medical student, and you're like, well, there's not a randomized controlled trial, and then come to find out, oh, that was right. You know, that you know, it just becomes more and more inherent and more that nature is telling us what to do. If we would just
Yeah.
just listen. But we're so
Yeah.
like inundated with all this,
Yeah.
stuff that we're missing a lot of very simple but very important messages. And if we would just listen on to the journey, we would know what to do so often.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So we're gonna do a quick time check. How's your jackfruit looking?
Looking good, I guess. Yeah.
In about 20 minutes. So all right, so let's do this. We're gonna go ahead and then just pull out the chilies, the garlic, and the carrots with a little bit of the sauce, and then you're gonna blend it. And
The chilies, the garlic, and the carrots. If I could find these garlics.
yeah, if you can. Otherwise, you might just have chopped garlic in your tacos.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Let's see if I can find it.
If you miss some garlic, then that'd be the person that wins.
Yeah, because it blends in with the jackfruit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's like a little hunt here.
Yeah.
I found one. I think I found two. My goodness. A little maze here.
I can definitely find those chilies.
Yeah, yours is easy.
Not gonna miss those.
And the carrot should be soft, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, somewhat. Okay. Okay, here's the garlic piece. All right, I think I found it. Okay. And then you get some of the liquid.
Okay. And Sersie, you're using Magic Bullet.
Yeah.
So there's not really a vent on these, so you might want to just let it cool down for a minute.
Okay.
It kind of creates some pressure, like when you blend it with heat. So, but if you're using like a Vitamix, you could just go ahead and throw it in there because you've got that lid, where it vents naturally.
I'll have to let it cool out a bit. Or maybe just put it in the fridge for a quick second.
Yeah.
So it could go up faster.
I'm gonna mute to blend, yeah?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Did you already have yours cooled down, Gigi, or?
No, I put mine in the fridge too. I'm just gonna
a glass
of water.
Oh, okay. I thought you were pouring something in. Okay.
I'm gonna hang out for a minute.
So it looks like kind of like a tomato paste. Is that right?
That's it. And then you could just take that and add it back to the pot.
Okay.
Yeah. And so really when it's done, you're kind of just cooking it down some more just to kind of let the moisture evaporate and let the flavors kind of concentrate some more. So, it might take another, like, I don't know, depends on how much sauce you have in there, anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes.
5 to 15, you said?
Yeah, you just basically want to cook it down so that it's the sauciness isn't too wet.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise it's done. So
Like you could try and chop our ingredients for the tacos or
yeah,
cabbage and
yep, you can do the toppings. Yep. All right, I'm gonna mute myself here.
or yours is cool now. Or you do the same thing.
It's mine is cool enough, so I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and just mute
Oh, I
here.
can still see the steam.
Mm.
Let's see.
Oh, it tastes good.
Oh. Pressure. Here we go.
Yeah, so it looks kind of it has like a pasty texture.
Yeah.
You know, like a sun-dried tomato spread or something.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
all right, so then after you blend it, you just want to add it back to the pot and then turn the heat back on.
Okay.
So if your mixture is wet, then it'll just need to take a little longer to cook down. But if it's already the right consistency, then you can go ahead and start dishing up your tacos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, boy, boy.
What's your dog's name?
Her name is Bree.
Bree.
Yeah. She's my helper.
She's what?
She's my little helper.
Yeah.
Bree loves her vegetables. She likes to eat
Yeah.
the kale stems, like when I'm cutting up kale or something. She likes the ends. You know,
Nice.
those are her snacks. She likes carrots and yeah, she's banana.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's my little my helper in the kitchen.
Yes.
All right.
So you have red cabbage, you said, and
Yeah, I've got red cabbage, cilantro, avocado, and lime.
Okay.
So I've got pretty much everything in my little bowl here for topping my tacos with. And I've got some nice corn tortillas that I picked up.
I was trying to revive my cilantro is a little bit weak. I'm trying to revive it in water.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right. Now, do you have a method for warming your tortillas? I usually just put them on the stove and just kind of heat it up that way. But do you have a preferred method you use, Suzannah?
That's what I do. I don't actually own a microwave, but I know my a lot of people will put just like a wet towel on top and wrap them in the microwave just for I think 20 seconds. But since I don't have a microwave, I do it either on the stove or I also have a like an air fryer / toaster thing that I just stick them
Yeah,
in
that's
there.
what I put
And then
mine in the air fryer.
yeah.
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 I kind of like them like tostada, like a little bit crunchy usually, but
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
and that usually happens because I never remember to get them before they are tostadas, so
Yeah.
that might be why.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Have you guys tasted it yet?
It tastes really good.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna turn mine down. Yeah, it's so rich and beautiful. I'm gonna eat it actually tomorrow because it's so late here. But
Yeah.
it looks amazing, and I bet the flavors are soaking even more.
Yeah. I mean, you could use that for like, I mean, obviously we're making tacos, but burritos, you
Yeah.
can make like a Buddha bowl kind of thing out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a
Mhm.
lot you can do with it.
yeah. I can't wait, and I like having things made ahead of time. It's the best
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
because we're always just like running around and being like, "Oh God, it's dinner."
Yeah. 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 Cersei and I recently started doing like meal prep, like a little class with
Mhm.
people. So with some
Oh,
people in
nice.
our group. And it's saved me a few times too.
I know, eh?
Yeah, because I call them Amy's entrees. I know people get sick of me saying that, but people say, oh, if I need something in a pinch, I'll grab an Amy's Well, I make my own Amy's entrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like little containers like this
Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with a
Mhm.
lid. And so I'll just portion it out and then I'll put it right in the freezer. And then
Yeah.
I just pull it out and you can let it thaw in the refrigerator. I mean, you can even let it thaw on the counter. It's not a big deal. There's no animal products in it, so you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about stuff. But yeah, it's just super easy and it's that pre-planning is what it is. It's just kind of pre-planning and then having backup, when you
Yeah, totally.
yeah,
Totally. It makes all the difference.
it really does. It does. All right.
I'm lucky now because I work kind of predominantly on telemedicine now. I mean, I'll see a patient in person every now and again here, but I used to, man, I used to just have a huge salad and then dump all the leftovers from dinner, and just every day my salad was something new and different, and it was like the best part of my day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, we did like a little reel on Instagram about salads because everyone I know before I went plant-based, my idea of a salad was like iceberg lettuce with a mushy
Or a
tomato.
side plate,
Yes.
you know?
Like that little plate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was my salad. And so, now it's like the salad is like the main attraction. It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
that's
it's it. It's it. I mean, I actually have it most days for breakfast. My favorite breakfast. I get like it's like my medicine, but I love it. And if I don't get it, I get like irritated. But I do my ground flax and my turmeric, and I put nutritional yeast in there and tahini and some fresh lemon or something with liquid. But now I put sauerkraut in there too because I'm just like obsessed with diversity of plants and fiber fueled and all that.
Fiber fueled.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the book has changed everybody.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I'll put I just toss that a whole lot and then put in a bunch of arugula and some goji berries or some frozen cherries, so there's a little bit of sweet for the bitter. And I'll throw into, I put chipotle in it because I put chipotle and tahini in everything I can because it's like my favorite thing. But and it's my breakfast every day, and it's the best way to start the day because you think if you do that, then you can't really go too wrong in the rest of your day, even if you mess up.
Right. Salad for breakfast. I think that's wonderful. That's a great way to start the day.
Yeah.
It's such a mindset shift though too, right? Because it's like, but once you do it once, it's weird at first, but once you do it, then you're like, oh, actually this works. I can do this.
Yeah.
And you know what? A lot of cultures have beans and greens and stuff like that. I think it's just, I think it's just the North American culture that once you do it, you realize, wait a minute, a meal is just a meal, right?
Yeah.
But we're kind of boxed in, I think, in North America. The breakfast has to look like this, the lunch looks like this, but really, there's so many other cultures that are just eating a lot of different things. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, I have a good friend that she went to Costa Rica for the first time, and they have pinto gallo. What's it called? Pinto gallo. It's like beans and rice, pretty much, with peppers
breakfast.
and leftover.
Exactly.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
She said it was the best thing.
Yeah. I love beans for breakfast. Beans and greens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's some kind of like either, it doesn't have to be rice, but even quinoa or something with it. Like it's like, for me, that's
yes.
I'm set.
Yes, exactly. I like to be like fully going into my day. I do my workout and then get that amazing bunch of nutrients, and then I feel like now I could do anything. Give me the next 3 hours to be productive.
Yeah.
So you brought up workout. I remember interviewing you and Dr. Katz, Dr. Furman, Dr. Khan.
Yes, it's such an amazing article.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
I need to republish that one. That was a good one. So what the health experts do in terms of exercise. So if I remember, you do yoga every day. I know you lift weights, and do you run? I can't remember if you run or if you hike.
Yeah, well, so it depends on where I am. So we were actually just abroad for the whole summer. I was seeing patients over there, but my husband's British, so it was the first time we got to see his family since COVID. So we spent 2 months in the UK. Well, we were in the UK most of it, but we were in Spain for 3 weeks. And so it was really fun because it makes you shake up your exercise, which is really important, to feel something different and new. And so when we did that article, I was doing mostly walking the hills because I live where I live. I live on a mountain-ish, like an Appalachian, so it's like a low mountain. It's not like a Rocky Mountain, but so I'll just walk the hills around the neighborhood and then do yoga. And I have a wonderful studio here that I did that it's just lovely. It's very rare for me to actually make it to the studio anymore, but thankfully they still have online. Or I'll do my own thing and integrate that because I do webinars for employee health and stuff. So I'm a lot of times writing things like right now. Tomorrow I'm leading a mindful movement, and it's just really about what movement can do for your mental health and what the data says about that and what it can look like, because it can look like a bunch of different things. And so sometimes my exercise is actually part of my homework for studying like what I'm going to present or things like that in various places. But these days I'm doing yoga. I'd say, I always kind of incorporate it a little bit, but maybe 2 to 3 times a week. And then I'm doing weights a little bit more, and then I would either walk, or when I was in London, I was running to Battersea Park because we were happened to be nearby there, and it was just, but it's so flat, so
Yeah.
I felt like I had to run because I had no hills. But I don't know how sustainable me and my body is for running, but it's fun every now and again, and I'm not limping, so I guess we're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what about you? What's your workout like?
Well, first of all, I want to point out that when I interviewed you all, each of you made a comment that one of the reasons, or the main, is either one or the main reason why you exercise on the regular is because it helps with managing stress.
Yeah.
That was really interesting because I just assumed it was because, I want my heart to be healthy. Yeah, that's part of it, but that was not the main reason. It was more like it was an outlet for managing and dealing with.
Which makes strength for the field that you're in. It makes complete sense.
Yeah. But
it is definitely self-care.
Yeah, totally. That's awesome. I love it. Yeah. So I am nursing an injury right now, but what my normal workout routine is, it's a combination of cycling, running, Tabata, which is like a HIIT workout, strength.
Yeah.
And I was telling Sersie and Dr. Orman, who we interviewed for our podcast, that I would love to add more yoga to my life. I do a little bit of it. Like I'll do, like, as part of my stretching routine, I'll do things like downward dog and pigeon and, that kind of thing. But doing it more,
consistently,
more consistently for more than just, 5 or 10 minutes. I think would be beneficial. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is fascinating. Just the talk I'm giving tomorrow is about mental health and movement, and in regards to yoga, because our guidelines really say, so if you do 150 minutes a week of moderate cardio activity with 2 days of resistance training or more, that's really what the guidelines say. And they don't really speak on, they kind of suggest flexibility and mindful and balance and things, but it's not really specified. But when you look through the data on mindfulness, there's more and more specifically for mental health, so like with trauma, with PTSD, and if you read The Body Keeps the Score and stuff like that, it's the role of yoga and getting in your body and breathing in your body and breathing in an uncomfortable position, which is like anxiety, just like find your breath and then you can do anything. But that's kind of, it's the most amazing thing. And there's so many different kinds of yoga that, there's a lot of different doors to enter, so if you're like a physical person, then you can go do, and that's how I would get irritated if I accidentally showed up at a mindful class and I'm like, this is my only hour for a workout. Okay. Like, what's my time? And then now it's like, that's exactly what I've needed all along. It's just that I have to like get to this place of readiness for that. And everybody's on a different need and a different journey.
It's so true. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of different.
I remember going into yoga and felt it was just too silent for me. Like you had to be ready to settle down. Because when I started yoga, I did Bikram yoga, which I didn't know anything about yoga, but I just happened to get into that one. And then everything else didn't seem the same. So, because that was my entry point. So when I went to the other one, it seemed too slow for me. So I had trouble kind of adjusting. So I'm in that process now of trying to balance that out. So yeah,
and it's fun. It's kind of like, when I lead a class, and my classes are not easy, but I really like, the goal is to find struggle, and that can be very irritating. It really is. But if you can find your struggle and then get curious about it and kind of be like, why am I so pissed off right now? Just like, and then you kind of play with it, and then you can, it becomes this amazing journey, right? And it really is like, and sometimes you say, I have to back down. If I can't ramp up my breath to match my struggle, then I need to back down my struggle and ramp up my breath. And it's like your insight and your cue into what's going on. But it's amazing how, and to watch people like get irritated and then work through it and then find the power, and then they can really settle in. And it's really, but there's all kinds of ways, and
it's like
not a right way.
Well, it's like you're tapping into your subconscious mind, and so sometimes you don't want to necessarily hear what that mind is saying or feel what that mind is feeling, if it can feel. But that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, ladies, you guys want to dish up the tacos? Ooh, Cersei's got hers. That looks pretty, Cersei.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm gonna dish.
Amazing.
Yes.
I gotta find my tortilla.
All right, get some avocado. Love me some avocado. Okay, throw a little lime juice on there. All right, this is what mine's looking like.
Oh yeah, it looks nice.
And I got a little bit of a char on my taco shell on the back side here.
A little what?
A little char because I put it on the stove top, so it's got a little. All right, so I'm gonna give mine a taste because it's still pretty early here. It's only like 6:30.
I'm gonna take a bite of mine. It's late for us.
I'd say so. I'm gonna show. I can just show my pot because I did. Oh no, there. That's the double portion. I'm gonna load up on it tomorrow, but it does taste delicious.
So this is a salt to taste, or you can throw some coconut aminos in there. But it's really good. It's not too spicy either. I think it has a little bit of spice, but
it's a little bit, but not overboard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Awesome. Okay, so we will get this published on danielsplate.com, and we will also include this video of us making this together.
Yeah.
So we have it for the records.
Yes.
Dr. Suzannah Bozzone. Where can people reach you if they want to connect with you?
Yeah, so I am at Dr. Suz B, so SUZB, in Instagram, and then I've got a YouTube channel. I don't know what it's called. Suzannah Bozzone. I don't know.
It's probably your IG though, isn't it? Like, can you get to it from your IG?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I don't know. I should probably know that, but it might be Z Bozzone or it might be Suzannah Bozzone. I don't know. And then I'm under True Health Journey also, which is my local practice, and you can find me if you're in a state other than or outside of the area of Chattanooga. Then you can find me on plantbasedtelehealth.com. And yeah, I'm on Facebook, Facebook and Instagram. I am on Twitter, but I don't tweet.
Yeah, I don't either.
I tried to tweet and I was like, I can't do this. And I don't do any of that other stuff either. I'm on LinkedIn and I post like once every 3 months. But either way, I will respond. I finally know how to find messages on Instagram, which is relatively new.
Well, awesome. Well, Suzannah, thank you so much for joining us tonight for Cooking Chat.
Yeah, it was awesome having you.
Thank you. This has been so fun. I can't wait to eat my tacos tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're going to sign off of the broadcast. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye.